I picked up a stray teddy dog, and my luck started to turn around. Not only did I secure the company's biggest order, but I also got a promotion and a raise. I was even noticed by a wealthy socialite who wanted me to marry her son. She offered me cars and a house, promising to transfer all her assets to our future child's name. I was about to refuse, but when she showed me a photo of her son on a business trip abroad, my love for good looks made my heart skip a beat. The wedding was arranged quickly, but the groom missed it due to a flight delay. My mother-in-law had me carry the teddy bear through the ceremony and even transferred me an extra 10 million in dowry on the spot. And so, I married into wealth with great fanfare, only to be pushed off the rooftop by my roommate a few days later. We both saw that dog together. Why do you get to marry into a rich family while I get nothing? As long as you die, everything can start over. When I opened my eyes again, I willingly gave her the chance to adopt the teddy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. Oh dear. This little thing looks so pitiful. Did it get lost? My roommate, who's always been a neat freak, Nora, picked up the dirty, wandering teddy by her feet. Before I could react, she hastily spoke up. Molly, I'm adopting this dog. Don't you dare try to take it from me. Seeing Nora's determined look, so different from the previous life's events, I knew it. She had been reborn too. At this moment, Nora looked at me triumphantly. I feel like this dog and I have a special connection. Like a mascot. Maybe it can bring me good luck. I know you want to adopt it too. But you already have 2 dogs. You probably can't handle another one. Right. I glanced at the teddy in her arms and spoke calmly. Well, I really can't take care of it anymore. If you want to keep it, go ahead. In my previous life, the reason I adopted it was because it kept following us home. Seeing it all dirty, I kindly gave it a bath and fed it some dog food, and then it just wouldn't leave. Little did I know that such an act would completely change my life afterward. Hearing my words, Nora couldn't hide the excitement in her eyes. Then it's settled. You're not allowed to regret it. Even if it could make me marry. Well, you're not allowed to be jealous. Perhaps afraid that saying too much would make me compete with her. She abruptly changed her tone mid-sentence. Hearing my solemn vow that I would never regret it, she happily hugged the dog and walked home. Meanwhile, a notification appeared in my mind. Congratulations. You've been granted a chance for rebirth. As long as the key figure at this moment dies, you can return to the present and change the outcome. From these words, I extracted useful information. The moment of rebirth is not random, but rather the exact time when the opportunity for rebirth is granted. And initiating rebirth only requires the other party's death, which will automatically activate it. No wonder. In the previous life Nora said when she pushed me off the rooftop that as long as I died, we could start over. So she had obtained the chance to be reborn. But judging by her reaction just now, she probably doesn't know I've also been reborn. I had just stepped through the door when Nora stopped me. Molly, did you hear any strange noises just now? Her expression looked both nervous and flustered. I knew what she wanted to ask, but I frowned slightly and asked in confusion. What sound? Did a thief break into the house? No, it's just a mechanical voice, saying something about rebirth and death. I rolled my eyes at her. Have you read too many novels? There's no such thing as rebirth in the real world. Stop dreaming these unrealistic dreams. Nora carefully observed my expression, and only when she saw that I didn't seem to be lying did she let out a sigh of relief. She walked happily towards the room, while I watched her retreating figure and curled the corners of my lips. I hope she can bear the cost of adopting it. At night, just as I was about to sleep, there was a rapid knocking at the door. Molly, go wash this beast for me, and make sure to clean it thoroughly. For some reason, I instinctively resisted getting close to this poodle and didn't want to approach it. I have to work overtime to finish a report. No time. With that, I was about to close the door, but she blocked it with her hand. What kind of attitude is this? You'd better speak to me properly. Don't be ungrateful. When I make it big, maybe I'll even let you be a nanny for my dog. No sooner had she finished speaking than the poodle ran out of the bathroom and started rubbing against her smooth thigh. Provoked Nora to such irritation that she kicked it away outright. The teddy bear collided with the corner of the wall, letting out a pained whimper. I frowned slightly but ultimately hardened my heart and said, if it really comes to it, just take it to the pet store. They're more professional than I am. After the door was closed, Nora was so angry that she even scolded me a few times. Later, she not only copied my way of dressing but also took the dog to work. At first, colleagues praised her for being caring, but within a day, everyone was complaining. Because Nora didn't bring a dog crate or leash, the teddy in heat ended up defecating and urinating everywhere. And it kept jumping on people's feet. Nora, can you control your dog? Look, it's gotten my pants all wet. Oh no. It's also rummaged through my trash and scattered everything everywhere. Damn it. The documents I just photocopied. Nora. Faced with everyone's complaints, Nora turned a deaf ear. Today was supposed to be an important day with a major client coming for inspection. But when the manager saw the scene in the office, he immediately lost his temper. Nora, who gave you permission to bring a pet to work? Do you have any idea how important the client visiting later is? This affects our performance for the second half of the year. You have 10 minutes to clean this up, or you can leave with your dog. Nora wasn't the least bit flustered, not even afraid of the manager she used to fear the most. I know exactly who's coming, and that's precisely why I brought the dog. I'm not afraid to tell you. Without me, you wouldn't have secured this order today, so don't you dare yell at me, or I'll make sure you lose your manager position. Hearing this, everyone looked at Nora in surprise and couldn't help but mock her. Is she crazy? Just an intern. Yet she dares to talk to the manager like that. I think she's really out of her mind. She even said earlier that she's about to marry into a wealthy family and told us not to offend her. What a joke. She pinches pennies even when ordering takeout. Marry into a wealthy family. More like the oyster in daydreaming or the fleecing in wishful thinking. But only I knew that Nora's words were true. Because the important client arriving soon is the owner of this teddy bear. Olivia, the chairwoman of Brian's family group. Although the manager was also angry, having navigated the business world for years, his experience was still shrewd. Seeing Nora speak so confidently, he also began to observe with interest. You'd better be telling the truth, or else. After instructing the cleaning staff to tidy up the office, Olivia walked in surrounded by a group of people. Teddy quickly ran to her feet, barking while tugging at her pant leg. Seeing Olivia's sudden change in expression frightened everyone present. The manager hurriedly spoke up to apologize. Ms. Olivia, I'm sorry. I'll handle it right away. Nora, don't you? Before the words were finished, Olivia picked up the teddy bear, examined it carefully for a moment, and then said to Nora, your dog. Nora stepped forward timidly to reply, I'm sorry. It's usually very well behaved and pitiful too. If I hadn't found it, it would have starved to death. Please don't hurt it. Okay. Olivia looked her up and down before speaking again. How could I harm it? On the contrary, I should thank you for taking it in. It's my lost puppy. You're very kind. What reward would you like? I can grant you anything. Looking at this scene from a different perspective, I'm not sure if it's just my imagination. I always feel that Olivia's gaze isn't one of gratitude or admiration. Instead, her words carried the feeling of a hunter casting bait to lure prey. Nora suppressed her excitement, her face lighting up with delight. Really? That's such a coincidence. I adopted it simply out of love, never expecting anything in return. If you truly want to express gratitude, I hope you'll seriously consider our company's project later. The proposal was something I spent several sleepless nights working on. Hearing this, everyone around looked at Nora in surprise. Someone wanted to speak but was stopped by the manager's glance. Olivia was momentarily stunned upon hearing this, then nodded. Since it's a project you're responsible for, let's proceed with signing the contract directly. I believe someone as kind as you wouldn't do poorly in their work. After saying that, she turned to leave, but halfway through, she looked back. Nora, right, let's have dinner together tonight. I'll send a driver to pick you up. Instantly, Nora couldn't hide her excitement. The manager smiled as he saw Olivia off, and upon returning, immediately announced Nora's official promotion. Molly, hand your proposal to Nora. She'll take over the follow-up matters from now on. You don't need to worry about it anymore. But manager, this proposal was clearly. Seeing the manager's expression darken, I stopped the colleague who was about to speak up for me. Only after I handed the materials to Nora did the manager's expression soften. Still, Molly is sensible and knows how to consider the bigger picture. Only when the company does well can everyone benefit. After the manager left, Nora stood in front of me like a proud peacock. Molly, you must be regretting it now. Right, but regret is useless. After all, it was your own choice to give up in the first place. Aren't you furious and frustrated? The project you worked on for half a year has ended up in my hands. But I feel vindicated. This is the price you pay for not helping me yesterday. Let me tell you. Soon I'll be marrying into the Hamilton family and become Mrs. Hamilton, while you'll be stuck as a wage slave for life. And you bunch of workhorses better show me some respect from now on. Once I marry into the Hamilton family and become Mrs. Hamilton, I might just be in a good mood and introduce you to some big clients. After saying this, Nora left the office with a smug expression. Seeing her arrogant attitude, the colleagues couldn't contain their anger and started venting their frustrations. Just picked up a stray dog. What's there to be so smug about? Someone's just returning a favor. And she really thinks she's about to become a phoenix perched on a high branch. What kind of person is this? Not only did she snatch Molly's project, but she really thinks one stroke of luck makes her better than everyone else. I think she's just daydreaming. A rich person was just being polite. And she thinks picking up Miss Olivia's dog means she can marry into wealth. What nonsense is she talking? Molly, don't be upset. We'll just wait for her to come crawling back with her tail between her legs. I just smiled without saying a word, because I knew Olivia would indeed propose tonight to have Nora as her daughter-in-law. That's why she could look down on all of us so arrogantly. But is this marriage, sparked by a dog, really as simple as it seems? Sure enough, within 2 days, Nora came to deliver invitations to us, adorned in dazzling jewels. As she approached my workstation, she looked down at me condescendingly. Molly, you must be dying to attend my extravagant wedding. Right. After all, some people never get such an opportunity in their entire lives. I responded calmly. Nora, I heard President Hamilton is abroad. You haven't even met him in person. Yet you're rushing to hold the wedding now. Don't you think it's too hasty and abrupt? What if? She interrupted me. Brian's photos I've seen. Handsome and wealthy. Why wouldn't I marry him? My mother-in-law already said that although the timing is tight, everything that should be there will be there. I think you're just sour grapes. In that case, I don't want to say much more. As she handed out the invitation, I was about to take it when she suddenly let go. The invitation fell to the ground and was stepped on by her slender high heels. Want it? Clean my shoes for me, and I'll give it to you. It's not that I particularly want this invitation, but there are some unresolved doubts, and I want to sneak into the hotel to check things out. A few seconds later, I crouched down to wipe her shoes. Nora burst into laughter upon seeing me grovel like that. At least you know your place. With that, she kicked me in the shoulder again before putting on her sunglasses and leaving. Soon, the day of the wedding arrived, and the venue was decorated just as it had been in the previous life. Of course, the groom, just like in the previous life, missed his flight, causing murmurs throughout the venue. Before Olivia could say anything, Nora volunteered to go through with the wedding alone. Olivia didn't expect Nora to be so understanding, speaking the words she wanted to say, and immediately agreed, transferring 10 million to her, because Brian wasn't there. After the banquet ended, only Nora entered the hotel's bridal suite alone, holding a teddy bear. I immediately opened the phone surveillance. This was something I had secretly installed by sneaking in when the waitstaff wasn't looking, based on my memories from a past life. In the video, Nora rolled around on the bright red wedding bed, looking at the transferred amount on her phone. Then Olivia walked in, reminding her to drink the milk and rest early. Soon after, Nora lay down on the bed and fell asleep without even changing her clothes. In my past life, I also fell asleep after drinking the milk. When I woke up the next day, my clothes were all on the floor, and there were many marks on my body. Now, I can immediately find out what exactly happened after I fell asleep. The next second, what appeared on the wall of the new house made my eyes widen instantly. I stared in shock as the shadowy figure of a man appeared on the wall, groping Nora all over and quickly undoing her clothes. He had a lewd expression and was spewing vulgar words. It's been so long since I've tasted a woman. I'm about to explode. Such delicate skin. Your hair smells so good. Your skin is so fragrant. Big brother will take good care of you. As he spoke, as if remembering something, he suddenly slapped Nora across the face. You bitch. How dare you kick me again and again? Just wait till I teach you a proper lesson today. Though merely a phantom, Nora's face quickly showed several red marks. Moreover, the voice sounded familiar. Upon closer inspection of the phantom's outline, I realized it bore a striking resemblance to Brian in the photograph. In my past life, when I noticed the peculiar changes in my body, I asked Olivia about it. Her reply was that her son Brian had returned that night for urgent matters, and after consummating our marriage, he had flown away again. Being inexperienced in such matters and feeling too embarrassed to discuss it with elders, I didn't probe further. Never could I have imagined that Olivia's so-called wedding night would be with a phantom. After that, Brian's actions became even more violent as he tore off Nora's skirt without the slightest regard for her dignity. But just as he was about to dive in with full force, he suddenly stopped. His gaze grew even more sinister. Damn it. You bitch. I thought she was pure, but she turned out to be so foul. Wasted my damn time. I couldn't help but frown upon hearing this. Brian just said Nora smelled nice. Why suddenly say she stinks? Probably because Brian's insults were too loud. Olivia walked in, seeing Nora already covered in wounds from the furious Brian's whipping. She hurriedly intervened. Son, what's going on? Finally found a woman who meets the criteria. Take it easy. If you damage her body, how is she supposed to bear children? Brian was furious. What criteria? She's not worthy at all. We've all been fooled. Mom, she's just pretending to be pure. In reality, she's filthy and can't possibly have children. This made me even more puzzled. Nora, whether she smells or not I don't know. But what does that have to do with having children? Soon, their conversation gave me the answer. Olivia frowned slightly and sniffed with her nose. What smell? I don't smell anything. Mom, would I lie to you? Don't you remember the master opened my spiritual senses? I can tell if a woman is a virgin by her scent. This woman usually covers her smell with perfume. But once she took off her clothes, the stench was unbearable. Who knows how many men she slept with? Mom, what should we do? We picked the wrong person. Hearing this, Olivia also looked puzzled. How could this be? The master clearly said that at that exact time and place, you'd meet a virgin with a pure constitution suitable for you. He also said she'd be kind-hearted and soft, loves animals, and would definitely take you home. This all matches Nora South time and place of finding you. How could it be wrong? Hearing this, I couldn't help covering my mouth, afraid I might scream out loud. If we go by their words, the initial target was me. It was only because of being reborn that the direction was disrupted by Nora. But even if I have a pure constitution, why must I have a child with Brian? The next second, the words I heard sent an even colder shiver down my spine. Mom, if we can't find a pure constitution to bear my child, how am I supposed to absorb her essence through the child to sustain myself? And how can I possess the child's body to be reborn? Reborn. Brian is dead. I suddenly remembered that I had searched online about Brian before. There was a gossip post that once revealed Brian actually died from excessive indulgence with women. At the time, all the comments were just jokes, and I didn't take it seriously. Turns out, it was real. From their later conversation, I finally understood what had happened. Brian really died. Olivia immediately sought out a master to try to bring her son back to life. So they needed to find a woman with a pure constitution who was also untouched. And I happened to be the perfect vessel. Once I became pregnant with Brian's child, my essence and blood would be continuously drained to prevent him from dissipating. By the time the child was born, the mother's body would perish from the loss of vital essence and blood. But Brian could then possess the child's body, obtaining a completely new form and thus achieving rebirth. No wonder in my past life, after I was pushed off the rooftop, even though the doctors had said there was no hope of saving me, Olivia still tried every possible means to resuscitate me. She hugged the teddy bear and began to cry. What should we do? Son, she might already be pregnant with your child. Soon, a sinister male voice spoke up. It's all because of that bitch Nora. If it weren't for her, I could have started a new life in a few months. If Molly can't be saved, I won't let that bitch get away with it either. At that time, the excruciating pain throughout my body had left me disoriented, and I could no longer keep my eyes open. I just thought Brian had rushed back after hearing about my accident, never imagining it was the teddy bear in Olivia's arms that was speaking. It wasn't until I was reborn that I gradually began to recall the irrational aspects of those events. It turns out that in my previous life, even if Nora hadn't targeted me, my fate would still have been a tragic death. At this thought, a shiver ran through my entire body. If I was their target from the beginning, then perhaps soon Brian would remember me being with Nora that day. Even if he didn't remember, by dawn Nora would know. No, I have to leave immediately. I immediately opened the flight app and bought the earliest ticket out of this city. After packing my things as quickly as possible and stepping out, I saw on the screen that Nora had actually woken up. She first realized she was completely naked, then noticed the marks on her body and the teddy bear lying on top of her. With a scream, she grabbed the teddy bear and threw it against the wall. "Oh, go to hell, you little beast. How dare you scratch me?" Teddy let out a scream. "Mom, stop it." Nora heard two voices simultaneously and only then noticed there were other people in the room. Facing Olivia's gaze, she hurriedly pulled up the blanket to cover herself, flustered as she tried to explain. "Mom, I didn't mean to. I just woke up and thought the marks were from the dog." As if remembering something, she spoke again with a shy expression. "Mom, has Brian come back? I just heard his voice. He's way too impatient, not even waiting for me to wake up, and treating me so roughly. How am I supposed to face anyone tomorrow? You bitch. After hurting me, you still think about facing anyone tomorrow. Today, I'll send you to meet the king of hell." Nora looked around with a pale face. "Who's talking?" "Mom, did you hear that? Was that Brian? Why is he scolding me?" At this moment, Olivia had already walked to the bedside and slapped Nora across the face. "You really are a filthy, stupid bitch, daring to throw my son against the wall. You're asking for death. Do you not know that the dog was his temporary vessel? If this teddy bear dies, he won't be able to survive either. And now you've made it so my son can't even form a shadowy figure. How dare you call my son a little bastard? I'll kill you today." As she spoke, she grabbed Nora's hair and slammed it hard against the headboard. No wonder the moment Teddy hit the wall, Brian's phantom disappeared. Seeing Nora covered in blood, Brian suddenly spoke up. "Mom, stop hitting her for now. There's something I need to ask her." My heart tightened, and I quickly urged the driver to speed up. Dazed from the beating, Nora took a long moment to regain her senses. She spoke with a terrified expression. "This beast, is the dog really your son, Brian?" No wonder Nora was so shocked, because in her past life, Olivia also told me she always treated Teddy as her own son. Many pet owners nowadays feel this way. Saying such things is just seen as treating pets like family members, and no one thinks much of it. "You actually want me to marry a dog?" And even before she could finish speaking, Nora was once again Olivia dragged to the ground by her hair. "Shut up. What nonsense about dogs. When someone carries my son's flesh and blood, lets him absorb the essence, and gives birth to a child for him to possess, he will naturally live again as a human." Hearing this, Nora trembled all over. "What do you mean by draining my essence? What are you planning to do to me?" Olivia sneered coldly. You're not even worthy. A slut like you, who's been slept with by who knows how many men, actually dared to lie to me about being a virgin. If it weren't for you, this bitch, suddenly showing up and disrupting our plan, making us target the wrong person, the fetus might have already formed by now. I wish I could beat you to death right now." The more she spoke, the angrier she became. Olivia viciously kicked Nora again, causing her to instantly spit out a mouthful of bloody foam. Upon hearing the words, "wrong person," Nora suddenly understood something. Yes, wrong. Everything was wrong. The person you're looking for isn't me. It's Molly. My roommate Molly. She's never been in a relationship before. She must be the one you're looking for. Nora said it was because I was with her at the time, and since I didn't want to adopt Teddy, she softened and decided to keep him. Hearing this, Brian seemed to recall the situation at that time as well. "Mom, there really were two women at the time. She must be telling the truth." Seeing the situation take a favorable turn, Nora quickly tried to ingratiate herself. "I didn't mean to do it. Please don't kill me. I can help you find her. I swear. Please, just let me go." I quickly minimized the video to the background, blocked all of Nora's contact information on my phone, and then urged the driver, "Driver, please hurry. I'm in a rush. Can't go any faster." There's a traffic jam ahead. Haven't you noticed we haven't moved in 10 minutes? Because I was too focused on the video with my headphones on. I hadn't noticed the traffic situation at all. Only when I looked up did I realize there was already a long line ahead. No wonder it took so long to reach the airport. At this moment, Olivia saw Nora couldn't get through on the phone and had already sent someone to the rental to look for me. Luckily, I left a step ahead, though I still felt a bit panicked. But I figured they probably didn't know I had seen everything. So for now, they wouldn't suspect I was trying to escape. While comforting myself with these thoughts, I heard Olivia's roar. No one. Where could she have gone at this late hour? Find her. Search every corner of the city if you have to. Good. Just as I thought. Seeing the traffic starting to move slowly, I was just about to breathe a sigh of relief. Hearing Nora's words made my heart tighten. She should be on the airport expressway. Looks like she's trying to flee. She picked up her phone and handed it to Olivia to see. I didn't know what was on it, but I could see Olivia's expression darken. Why did she run? Logically, she shouldn't have known. As she spoke, she began searching the room, and soon discovered something unusual. Olivia's gaze met mine across the distance, her lips slowly curling into an eerie smile. Trying to run. Not so easy. I quickly cut off the video, my heart pounding rapidly, and my palms sweating. Why Nora could know my location? Did she plant a tracker on me? But with so many things on me, where could she have hidden it? I can't possibly run around completely naked. Time is tight. No time to think carefully. No matter what, going to the airport is definitely not an option now. With Brian's family's methods, I'd probably be intercepted before even reaching the airport. Even if I report to the police, there doesn't seem to be substantial evidence. This kind of thing sounds so unbelievable that the police might not take it seriously. Where can I go now? I quickly thought of someone and immediately asked the driver to turn around. When I arrived at Cedric's place, he was already getting ready for bed. He seemed a bit surprised to see me suddenly appear. Molly, why are you here at this time? You look so pale. Are you feeling unwell? Come on, I'll take you to the hospital. Without answering him, I kissed him directly. Cedric was stunned at first, then responded to me passionately. When the door was knocked, Cedric got up to answer it. Who are you looking for? Olivia had indeed found her way here, with Nora following behind. I stepped out from behind Cedric and exclaimed in surprise. Ms. Olivia, what are you doing here? Cedric quickly draped the coat from the entrance over me upon seeing my disheveled appearance. But the red marks on my neck were clearly visible to Olivia, her expression faltering. What did you do? What else could you possibly be doing at your boyfriend's place at night? Ms. Olivia asked knowingly. You actually lost your virginity. How dare you? Without saying a word earlier, Nora immediately retorted. She's lying. She doesn't even have a boyfriend. This guy must be someone she hired to put on an act. Seeing Olivia's attitude, Cedric frowned slightly and said, Madam, I don't think such private matters need to be explained to you. How could it be unnecessary? She's the one my son chose. How dare she do such a thing without our permission? Nora also chimed in from the side. Yes, the one who was originally supposed to marry Brian was her. At this moment, Cedric felt the cold sweat in my palm, and his expression was no longer friendly. I wasn't aware that my girlfriend had become someone else's woman. Be careful, or I'll sue you for defamation. Please leave immediately. Don't make a scene here, or I won't be polite. Nora whispered something into Olivia's ear, and relying on her wealth and power, she wasn't the least bit afraid. Do you know who I am? Just a petty cop trying to stop me. Someone, hold this man down. As for Molly, your words don't count. Let my son take a sniff, and we'll know if you've lost your virginity. Hearing this, my heart trembled. Nora looked at me with a curled lip, her expression seeming to say, Molly, you can't escape. Several bodyguards quickly stepped forward, but they still underestimated Cedric's abilities. In just 2 seconds, they were all knocked to the ground. Seeing this, Olivia tried to pull me away, but was Cedric pushed aside. Unexpectedly, the blow landed on the teddy bear in her arms. Brian immediately let out a scream. The dog's body was still trembling slightly, and faint sounds could still be heard. Let's go. Mom, get out of here quickly. He has the light of merit. And that clothing. I can't stand it anymore. Cedric must have heard it too. his eyes instantly turning sharp. Who's speaking? In the end, Olivia saw her son trembling, his voice growing weaker, and with no other choice, she finally picked up the teddy bear and left. Only after closing the door did I realize my back was drenched in sweat. Cedric, seeing me leaning weakly against him, he immediately carried me to the bed. What's wrong with you? Why are you so scared? Did that person's son bully you just now? After some thought, I decided not to tell him the truth and only said Brian had been harassing me. Olivia used her power to try and force me to accompany her son for entertainment. After hearing what I said, Cedric remained silent for a while, then nodded. Don't be afraid. I'm here. Take a shower and get some good sleep. I'll sleep in the living room tonight. Facing his gaze, I knew he must have seen through my lie. After all, we grew up together, and I've always known he had feelings for me. Cedric isn't particularly handsome, the kind you wouldn't even notice in a crowd. I used to hesitate, unable to tell whether my feelings for him were friendship or love. I also disliked his profession as a SWAT officer, constantly going on missions, feeling that marrying him would mean living in constant fear. It wasn't until my tragic death in my past life that I realized in marriage, things like appearance don't matter at all. What truly matters are a sense of security and responsibility. Actually, we had already reached the final step just now, but at the critical moment, he stopped. He said he was afraid I was just acting on impulse and might regret it later. So when facing Olivia, I was just putting on a brave front. I also remembered hearing before that people in Cedric's profession carry a kind of spiritual merit with them, especially when wearing that uniform. Ordinary evil spirits can't get close, so I decided to give it a try. Even if it didn't work, because of his profession, I wouldn't be taken away by anyone. I never expected Brian to actually be afraid of him. So much so that he couldn't even get close. Suddenly remembering something, I grabbed Cedric as he was about to leave. Can you have someone check for me? I suspect I'm being tracked. I mentioned Nora being able to track my movements. Cedric checked my belongings but found nothing unusual. Then he took my phone and had the tech department run a remote scan. The results came back quickly. No tracking software was installed on my phone. It was just that Nora had linked to my phone account, so she could see my location. I suddenly remembered that there was indeed a time when she mentioned we could link our accounts, so we could locate each other's phones if they were lost. In the following days, I knew Olivia wouldn't give up easily, so I had no choice but to stick to Cedric like glue. Fortunately, he was on annual leave and, seeing how nervous I was, patiently stayed by my side. He thoroughly implemented the principle of not asking if I didn't want to talk. I saw Nora again online, holding a teddy bear on the rooftop, shouting loudly that she wanted to see me. When I arrived at the scene as requested by the police, I finally got a clear look at her condition. Her hair was disheveled, her body covered in wounds, and her mental state didn't seem quite normal either. Olivia stood not far away, looking tense. Put the dog down, and I promise I'll send you abroad. I won't hurt you. Don't worry, I'll give you as much money as you want. Nora raised the teddy bear in her hand and extended it over the edge of the rooftop. You think I'd believe you? Don't come any closer, or I'll throw it down right now. Okay, don't get worked up. I won't come any closer. Seeing my figure, Nora immediately pointed at me. Molly, I just want to ask you one thing. After I picked up this dog, did you hear something? After thinking for a moment, I still nodded. Ha 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 ha, I knew it. You were lying to me. Ha 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 ha. I knew there was still a chance. Molly, we're both victims. We were both deceived. How about this time I help you take them away? Then we can start over together. The words that followed were mouthed, but I could still see them clearly. Before I could answer, she turned her gaze to Olivia. Olivia, don't you want your son to live? Come here, and I'll give him back to you. Olivia, anxious about her son and without thinking, walked over despite the police's attempts to stop her. I instantly understood what she intended to do and called out to stop her. Nora, don't. But it was too late. As Olivia reached out her arms to catch the dog, she pulled her and they jumped off the 18th floor rooftop. Despite the air cushion, the impact was too great, and both women along with the dog died instantly. Oh dear. This little thing looks so pitiful. Did it get lost? She didn't know that the chance of rebirth could be exchanged. Last night, after I confirmed my feelings for Cedric, I used the chance of rebirth to ensure his lifelong safety and to turn dangers into safety. So, there simply won't be a next life. In the days that followed, Cedric would always turn peril into safety no matter how dangerous the mission he encountered. 2 years later, I married him. On our wedding night, Cedric held me in his arms. Darling, will you regret it? No, because in my past life, I already had regrets. He didn't believe it. So on our wedding night, it turned into me telling him a ghost story.